Welcome to the Immunity Community 2020, where our focus is to provide physical, mental, spiritual info and positive vibes to help you endure and adapt. We'll be bringing you experts to provide strategies to handle stress and boost your immunity. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Immunity Community 2020. I have here with me a longtime friend, which is, I think we've known each other for 20 years now, which is insane. And it's come full circle because our sons have become good friends and they play lacrosse together. So we get to see each other and talk business all the time. And this is Adam Hanin. And with the mask movement, he's going to tell you a little bit about that. But what I really want the audience to get a feel for what you've done as a business person and because obviously you're stressing just like everybody else as a business owner, as a father, as a husband, all those things. And we can talk about that later. But today we'll just really pinpoint, if you can tell the audience really what you do and then how that became and how you adapted, and then we'll keep going with the story.
Yeah. So thanks for the opportunity again. My name's Adam Hanin. So what I do for a living is I run websites predominantly for fashion retailers, and I manage all their direct to consumer side of their business. So most of my manufacturers that produce clothing, dresses, t-shirts, different categories of clothing, they're focused on their wholesale distribution. So they want to sell to Nordstrom's, they want to sell to boutiques all across the country. They're not really set up internally to manage the onesie, twosie orders, which is really where I come in. So we'll do the photography, we'll do the art and creative, the email, the marketing, sometimes the fulfillment, the customer service. So we're a full outsourced platform to manage this direct to consumer section of their business. Which tends to be a much smaller side of their business, but based on margin, it actually is a very profitable side. So they're happy to outsource it because they don't really have to do too much other than feeding us the goods and their branding, and then we sort of run with it from there. So, what's interesting is that obviously a lot of people are trapped at home, if not everybody's trapped at home.
Yes.
And so in some cases, in a lot of cases, my website business for them is actually up. Some cases it's flat, in some cases it's down, but certainly not down to the level of a retail store being closed.
Yeah.
They're doing no business.
So people are still buying clothes online right now.
And they are.
And stuff.
Okay, they are. It depends on the category. I have some cosmetic brands, beauty brands. They tend to be a little bit up. Some of my clothing brands on the casual side, where they're selling like fleece sweats and stay-at-home clothes per se, are actually
way up. Yeah, that's awesome.
It really is following what you would think it would make sense. But again, my business sector for them is a smaller piece of their business. So when you think about a wholesale business, especially in the clothing distribution, to stay in sort of that category, they have inventory, which they have to pay for them from their suppliers. They've shipped inventory to stores which are closed. So how are those stores going to be able to pay them? And then on top of that, they have goods coming in either from China or wherever they manufacture from, which takes a long time to get in. And are they going to be able to ship those goods to their stores because their stores are closed, sitting with goods that they haven't paid for already? So it just affects the supply chain all across, right?
Yeah.
So,
and what's cool is that, because this audience, the stuff that I've been interviewing, yoga people, exercise people, doctors, and you're one of the first business people that I've interviewed. So how did you pivot? Because that's a background, for those who are new to business and the aspect of commerce and fashion and those industries. How did you pivot into the mask movement? And can you tell us what that is too?
Yeah. So basically, it was absolutely, like many of us, driving me crazy, the fact that we couldn't get some of the PPE stuff to hospitals and people in need, and blew my mind. I was like, how can I help do something? And one of my manufacturers, LA Made, based in Los Angeles, makes t-shirts and dresses and things along those lines, called me and said, hey, Adam, I have a 20, 30 sewers that work for me in my factory making my products for LA Made. Why don't I have them make a few masks to include in our orders? And immediately the light bulb in my head went off. Like, granted, he's got a nice business, got a nice online business, but we're not talking Amazon here, right?
Yeah.
So today we're going to put them in our orders is not a big reach. It's a nice gesture, but not a big reach. So I kind of shifted the conversation and said, Albert Chang, who's the owner, if you really can make masks, how many masks can you really make? And he gave me a number. And I said, why don't we tell me what the cost is, and let me reach this out to my friends and family. And I'm in the website business. So me building a website, not very hard. I built a website in 6 hours called The Mass Movement, and basically got another one of my clients on board. His name's Dr. Paul Nassif. He has a show on E! Called Botched, pretty well-known guy with some pretty good celebrity reach.
Yeah.
He got behind it. And we started, I sent a mask that was made in LA to my photographer. We put it up online, built a pretty cool website. It's got a little counter on the top that shows you how many have been purchased and donated. And for every 2 that are purchased, we make 1. So basically we don't make any money on this whatsoever.
So you make 1. So for every 2 that someone purchases, you make 1, and that's donated to a specific hospital or outfit?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, awesome.
So I had a list of maybe like 500 hospitals, and I had someone that worked for me start calling hospitals these aren't medical grade. They're not FDA approved. They're cloth masks, 3-ply cotton, and they're needed significantly.
Yeah,
finally got a hold of some people, and now we're having hospitals call us. The reality is that the demand is so great, and it's so much greater than I ever thought, that it's hard to even keep up with the demand.
Yeah.
So, that's sort of how this movement started. And I did create a video after the first 24 hours. I wanted to sell 10,000 or get 10,000 donated and made. And within the first 36 hours, I had about 10,000. I made a video that I put on LinkedIn and sent emails to all my customer lists, because I run 20 websites. I have a big customer file, basically saying, hey, join this movement. Video went viral, and we went from 10,000 to 20,000 in another 24 hours.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's sort of how this movement started.
Cool. So I'm going to cut us short because I'm going to keep it right to the point, because I know you're busy too. So, but dude, beautiful work to just think beyond yourself, and you're in business with your wonderful wife as well, and we carpool all the time for those seeing us, not right now, but thank you for doing what you're doing, and also it's themaskmovement.com.
Yep.
So people, you can do donations, and I just wanted to share your story of how you adapted in business, because I know that you've been a hustler your whole life, and you're smart, and you've been able to take something and put it towards a more altruistic state. So thank you, and thank you for your time, man.
Thank you so much. And
right.
Donation, we're still taking donations for about 48 more hours. So
awesome.
As possible.
All right, we'll get this out. All right, man. Thank you.